Rock Bottom coins are the #1 place to get your Madden coins. If you make coins for my videos, sell them to Rock Bottom. If you're buying, use my code GUTBOX for 10% off. Hey, GUTBOX here. It's the much anticipated best player at each position on defense for each budget level in MUT 22 right now. Let's get into it right away. We're going to start with left ends, obviously move on through it to corners, free safeties. Above, you'll see the offensive side of it. Probably would change up. I don't know how much I'd change up from today's Team of the Week drop, but top budget left end, best left end of the game. Now, I am not putting guys out of position. Like left end, obviously Lawrence Taylor plays left end because you can put him there and he's a pass rusher, and that's great. But I'm just doing strictly left end. We'll talk to outside linebackers. We'll go both drop and pass rushing outside linebackers when we get there. So strictly left end. Who is the best in that position? Not any other out of position left ends, just left end. In my opinion, because JJ Watt, he's more of like an interior pass rusher, right? Even though IRL, like he's an edge guy, the speed at which he plays is slow, right? 76 speed. When quarterbacks out here, especially with escape artists, are just zooming around the line of behind the line of scrimmage, like I don't know, NASCAR cars continually turning left and just zoom, 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 zoom. It's like you hear like the Doppler effect going past you every time an escape artist lights up. But I'm going to go Rousseau. Why am I going Rousseau? Well, let's see. He's got 87 speed, so he's got the ability to chase down quarterbacks, and he's got decent block shed at 90. Not the top in the game. There's some better ones, but 90 is right up there. And then power move 91 for pass rushing, right? So overall, I don't mind this Rousseau. He's not too terribly priced either. He's a 90 overall, 100K, so he's just over. And a lot of people didn't get this. My budget number was 100K and under for the mid-range. A lot of people yesterday were saying, like, or when I posted the offense version, like, oh, what about Allen? What about Allen? What about Allen? He's better than Zach Wilson and Cam Newton. Yeah, but Allen's 300K. He's above the range that I set. So Rousseau, he's slightly above the range. You can probably find him at the range for the mid-size. But the mid-size left end is Montez Sweat at 66K. He's the same speed, worse finesse moves, or worse pass rush moves, and worse block shed by quite a bit, by 5. So that's why Montez Sweat is like the best one, but I still want speed off the edge, and that's what you need to keep up. And especially if you like spy the quarterback too. Generally, I'll leave my pass rushers just going, and then if they start escaping, then I'll throw on contains, then I'll try the spy. That's kind of what I'm going. But Montez Sweat is my mid-budget guy. Even though there's like a 40K price range. Left end, there's some good players, not a ton of competition. Low budget will be 83, Michael Strahan. The issue is like, and obviously there's like, power-ups and stuff you can do. The low end budget, if you recall from the first one, I'll put the first one in the description below. If you recall, these ones are like 10K and under. 83, Michael Strahan. Yeah, he's not the fastest. You could have gone to somebody higher, but most people higher are above the 10K range that I want to see at. 73 speed. Strahan, you also get like decent, I would say, what am I looking for? Traits, right? Traits on these cards for using legends. And then he's got the okay power move, block shed. Generally, if you're in the budget, the under 10K, a lot of guys are going to fill that role for you. So you can just get a low-end player, 83-ish, but I don't mind Strahan right there for that role because it's pretty well balanced power, finesse move, and block shed for that price. All right, right ends. Let's switch on over. Who is the best right end in the game right now? I think there's a tie. There's a tie between Kgb and Myles Garrett. Kgb was an absolute animal out there for me with his high-end finesse move, high-end speed. His block shed rate here was at 90 also, so very solid against the run, very fast, and a very effective pass rusher for me. Myles Garrett himself, similar things, but he's got a balanced power move, finesse move, both over 90, right? So once you hit that 90, like RG said last year, that once you hit 90, you unlock like special animations for that pass rush. So he's got both 92 and 90, so he's got the 90 in both of them. But the issue is he's 82 speed. Now, if you power him up, I think you can get him to 84 because he gets a +1 over the power up with the Team of the Week card. He's expensive. I would not buy Myles Garrett right now. He's a 92. He's the next set of cards to get reduxed. If you buy Myles Garrett at 1.38, you're crazy, man. Just wait. Just relax. Don't worry. He's going to get reduxed. Hopefully soon they come out with those redux. So it's a bad time to be holding Myles Garrett, in my opinion. So those are the best two. Cameron Hayward, once again, too slow for an end. He is an interior defender. But interior defenders, You can get a defensive tackle, 295. He isn't 300. I think 295 is going to play very well for you. He's played well for me. 71 speed. We'll talk about defensive tackles and kind of what we're looking for out of that position too. But Cam Hayward, more of an interior guy. Trey Flowers, again, not fast enough, so you can kind of go down the list and see what you're dealing with. All right, mid-range budget guys. You're looking at him right here. Marcus Spears, 89 overall. I can't tell you how effective this guy was to me. Like I talked about, a well-balanced. Wait, what the heck? 4 minutes suggestion. Marcus Spears right here, because he's got 80 speed. He's faster than a lot of other guys, but then he's got 88 power move and the block shed to top it off at 88 also. So a very effective player. The problem is on the edge you want a little bit of speed. So if I were going for like a budget edge, Spears would probably not be my budget edge because he only has 80 speed, 83 speed if you power up on the theme team, but 80 speed, so chasing down those escape artist quarterbacks that you run into every other game is going to be a little bit of a pain. And the budget one is Kgb, right? Kgb, I think he's a little bit above 10K right now. He is, actually, he's a lot more than 10K. I might have to knock him down. 87 speed with 78 power move. We may have to go a little bit lower to get under 10K. Chase Young's a Nat card, so you can't get him. I would take a look at then maybe, oh, that's Nat Garrett. Maybe like a power up, a core elite. Chase Young's not a bad. He doesn't have really a lot of pass rush moves. The reason I like Kgb is because he had really good pass rush moves, block shed, speed. Whereas this card itself has horrible block shed. He's not really getting a lot of pressure out of you. Maybe it's worth. If I were you guys, I would probably not have a right end on my squad. And I'd put in an outside linebacker here because there are better outside linebackers that are like pass rushers and stuff for you. All right, next position, interior, the defensive tackle spot, right? J-Lift just came out today, and his stats are whelming, not overwhelming. They're just whelming. They're good, don't get me wrong. He's got 93 power move, 90 finesse move, but 71 speed. It's nice. Let's take a look overall at the card. Block shed 92 is nice too. He has decent traits right here for the pass rush. Big hitter, no high motor, yes. So that's pretty good overall. He's 303, so he's over 300 pounds. There's you know, a lot to like about Jay. And I think Jay's definitely got an argument for this spot. Me personally, the way Warren Sapp has treated my opponents is nothing short of rude. This guy is always making plays for me, whether I leave him accidentally clicked on. Power move 92, finesse move 88, and block shit at 81 right here, or 91, sorry. Overall, Warren Sapp is a card that I think every team needs. You know, even if you're going to go budget defensive tackle, like the next two spots right here are not that surprising, right? If you want, like, let's go. The two budget spots are, hang on. Are 88 Warren Sapp and 83. The top spots for defensive tackle, in my opinion, though, are Warren Sapp and Tommy Harris. Warren Sapp Redux going for approximately 178 to 199K, depending on the console and time of day that you buy him at. But like Ratcliffe 341, higher priced. But what I'm trying to say is Warren Sapp, for some reason, just produces. Don't know why. It's been like this since last year. The other defensive tackle I'd look at would be Tommy Harris. 84 speed, 90 power move. If you click on that, 295 on the weight, 90 block shed on him too, so good against the run. Leroy got similar speed. He's a little thinner there, though, so I don't know if you love him as much, right? Actually, a little faster now that I look at his top card. 6'3", 256. So depending on how much you believe in weight and how much it matters, which I believe it definitely matters this year more than it has in previous years. In current gen and before, weight was really not a big deal. But now I definitely, since I did a little bit of testing on it, I did see a little bit of difference. I do think weight on next gen matters. So if you want to go pure pass rusher, you can obviously move the defensive ends down to tackle, like put Garrett defensive tackle, and then Kgb there, maybe some pass rushers from the outside linebacker spot. But overall, Warren Sapp, I think, for the mid-budget and low-budget D tackles are not a bad idea either. All right, Loeb is what we'll get to next. So let's go ahead and take a look at that position. The best outside linebackers. Now, there's two different kinds of linebackers, at least on the outside. There is drop into zone coverage guys and rush the passer guys, right? Your Lawrence Taylor and your Anthony Barr, which is funny because those are the two guys that I'm going to put in the position. Kevin Green and Anthony Barr, right? Lawrence Taylor's a right outside linebacker this year. He's always been a right outside linebacker. Kevin Green is your Loeb, your best pass rusher. And then, like, there's an argument for other players to be at that spot. But Kevin Green, I don't know what it is about this card. He's just caused so much destruction for whenever I line him up on the ball and say, go get him, right? The finesse moves being high maybe is it. I don't know. Maybe it's my Steelers love, but he's gotten more sacks than anybody else on my roster. So he's got that it factor for me this year. There are obviously people that contend with him for that spot too. You see Bosa, Houston, Haley. They're all pretty close, but I think at left outside linebacker, give me Kevin Green. As for a drop linebacker, Anthony Barr, it's really not worth running these animated outside linebackers or coverage linebackers at all without Lurker. Now, he is tall, and he does have the height boost with your most feared strat cards, at least for a few more days until they turn those off. He's got great speed, right? This Anthony Barr is back to the Anthony Barr of old. Great impact block shed. Like outside linebackers will sometimes be taking on impact blocks from like guys pulling and stuff. So it is important to have that plus 90 zone. So throw Lurker on him. He is a tall safety out there. I do like this Anthony Barr card if you decided to dedicate the AP towards Lurker. Sadly, it is 2 AP on the run stopping archetype, so it is a little bit more than I wanna give him. I'd rather have like a safety back there with like the 2 AP dedicated to Acrobat, because he still won't jump side to side like Acrobat, but at least with Lurker, he'll jump upwards and make some nice plays that way. So really depends on how you want to stock your team. If you want it better against the run, you can put Anthony Barr out there, linebackers out there to stop the run a little bit better, and then throw Lurker on them. But if you want to go against the pass better, you go safeties and Acrobat. So it is kind of nice. There's that flexibility, that kind of strategy to that spot. All right, for the mid-budget guys, and I don't know, some people are saying, what the heck? Why does this keep doing this? Smart Phil, stop it. Khalil Mack, Carl Banks are my two. For Khalil Mack is the pass rusher, Carl Banks for the drop guy, for under 100K. So we got to go down a little bit. Carl Banks, 85 speeds, a little bit slower. Zone coverage, 69. Not exactly great zone there, but he's got decent speed. He's not really a pass rusher. He's kind of like okay, I guess, at pass rushing, block shed. But really, if you're getting to this level, I would definitely not use a linebacker at a drop linebacker spot, even though he's got speed or whatever, 85. Just throw a safety there for the same price. You have to play a nickel coverage, but I just think it's just wasteful to put a drop linebacker there. As for Khalil Mack, you guys know Khalil Mack's reputation. 42K right now. If he gets the most fair card, that's probably going to go up. Not a bad investment to grab one if you do have a mid-budget guy. For the low-budget beasts, Gibson. I'm going to go Travis Gibson here. We can look up his card here quick. Gibson himself, again, 85 speed on the card. He's not a great pass rusher. He's more of like a coverage guy, but even the coverage guy, because you're sacrificing so much, you really just want to put field. If you have a budget squad, you want to maximize speed, right? Above everything else, above zone coverage, because you're not getting to 90, really the number you need for zone coverage. Is 52 zone coverage. 52 up to 74 basically plays the same. I think 75 and 90 are the couple thresholds, at least that I tested for the past. I did not test them this year, but that's kind of what I'm going on. I hope maybe somebody else gets into testing for those kind of thresholds and stuff for reactions. Middle linebacker. Let's move on over. The number one and two middle linebackers are Ray Lewis and Isaiah Simmons, right? Ray Lewis, if you really want to go out, and then like I put Isaiah Simmons there, but I don't know. Ray is a monster of a man right there. Ray Lewis at 340, 90 speed. He's better. Like I would say Ray Lewis is probably the superior CPU, but like I don't mind using either one of them, right? Field general Isaiah Simmons, 91 speed, 6'4". Ray Lewis, field general, he's 6'1". So yeah, I guess if you go with the two middle linebacker set, you throw Lurker around on both. User Simmons, let Ray Lewis run on his own. I mean, block shed. This guy would be a great outside linebacker in the 3-5 wide, him and Ted Hendricks, because they can do everything, right? 91 power move, 90 zone coverage, 90 block shed. So if you do run a 3-5 wide, Ray Lewis, Ted Hendricks, you could basically drop into coverage. You can have him rush the passer, and they're equally effective in both. Love it, love it, love it. The issue is, he doesn't really have any traits for pass rushing right here behind my head. But who knows how much those actually matter. He is a big hitter, so hopefully Ray Lewis. And he does unlock the chemistry to that new ability, Crusher. It was okay, I guess. 4 AP was a little expensive. If you want something like that, use Deflator. It wasn't broken levels of good. 4 AP, I'm looking for something that's like broken good. The budget middle linebacker, Roquan Smith. What? Stop. Stop with that fill. All right. Roquan Smith is my budget middle linebacker right here, under 100K. Roquan, where you at? Where you at, bud? Where you at? Roquan Smith right here. 87 speed, 36K for him. For this card, 77 zone coverage, 86 hit power. Basically just a cover linebacker if you need to have a linebacker out there, if that's the kind of defense you want to play. And then the lowest tier card will be Quincy. Like I talked about, you want to go with a bunch of speed out there. 5,900 coins for middle linebacker. A very nice sideline to sideline maneuverer. 88 speed on him. Very, very good card there for a budget middle linebacker for like the low meta. All right. Right outside linebacker, the two that we want to go with right here. We talked about both these cards before, LT and Ted Hendricks. I mean, what is there to say about LT that hasn't been said about Hurricanes, right? He is just a force of nature out there. I definitely like him more than Thomas. Thomas with the lack of finesse move. You can see that Broderick Thomas. Or is it Broderick Thomas, block shot 94, that's great, right? Power move 94, phenomenal. But finesse move 71, I feel like LT gets more, they're the same speed. LT just feels like it gets more pressure for me. He showed up, he's gotten more sacks for me. I've had them next to each other for a while, even though his block shit is lower, same speed. I just feel like, you know, the 92 plus like the perfect traits on this card. LT is a guy you absolutely want on your defense. If you're gonna grab any top end pass rusher, this is the one you want. You know, don't think that's a very controversial taste. Ted Hendricks, he is like the jack of all trades and the master of all trades, right? He is 6'7". 6'7". He is a little thin, but 89 speed along with 93 block shed, 91 power, right? 90 zone. He is everything. A Swiss Army knife, right? I nailed it. Sorry, it's late. I guess I'm starting to stutter quite a bit. Ted Hendricks, LT, right outside linebacker. I think every team should have them. If you have a Ted Hendricks, I think you're gonna have a good time out there, especially if you do drop him down into coverage. I think a mid-budget guy would be the 90 Ted Hendricks. Oh shoot, I know what the formula suggestion is. It's because I have this exact spreadsheet in another spreadsheet. That's why it fills it beforehand. An 83 DeMarcus Ware. So overall, these are my cards. DeMarcus Ware is you know, kind of more of a pass rusher, as you know, but 90 Ted Hendricks is very similar to the top end Ted Hendricks, but he's cheaper. He's just a little bit lesser on the exact spots that you want, right? He's just like the top Ted Hendricks minus like a few points at each spot, right? A little bit lower block shed, but 90 block shed still nice. 86 zone coverage. You wish it was higher. 88 power move, like I said. You know, that's top Ted Hendricks for only... Oh, wait, he's up in price today. Darn it. When I made this, he was under 100K. Now he's over that. We're just going to move on. We're just going to say snipe him under 100K and deal with it. Otherwise, Broderick Thomas for a mid-range one is not a bad pass rusher. All right, next up on the list, we're going to the cornerback spot. So the three best cornerbacks, the top meta, the best ones in the game, in my opinion, in no particular order here. We have Charles Woodson, Mike Haynes, and Byron Jones, right? This is like, Charles Woodson is one of the reasons, you know, the top two corners in the game are both Raiders, right? Byron Jones has definitely got the argument for the best corner in the game too, but it is kind of crazy how Charles Woodson, 92 speed. We got Lem Barney. I did not like the way Lem Barney played. Did not like it at all. He's thin. He didn't really like do a whole lot for me. He's good out there. Delta was okay. Like all these guys are okay, but Charles Woodson is Charles Woodson. Great at everything, right? 92 man, 93 zone, 92 speed, 92 press also. Don't forget about the press. So Charles Woodson's there. And then Mike Haynes, you know, one less speed, but Mike is 6'2", so he's also got very good height on top of it. So I do not mind these two as your number 1 and 2 on the Raiders theme team. But there's a lot of guys that are very competitive with them that just aren't like, you know, they don't have either both 90s, right? They don't have both the 90s man and zone, press over 90. Marcus Peters, I think they get the zone to 90 when you power up and you put your, you know, on the island strat card or whatever it is. Press won't get to 90 though. Diggs, same way. Diggs doesn't get the 90 zone, so it's tough, but I definitely feel like, you know, these three, Byron, I mean, I'm considering them all powered up. Byron, he's super expensive. It's definitely not worth it. Byron, Charles, and Haynes are your cornerbacks, right? See, the thing is, like generally you need 3 corners for every scheme, but I put Cam Chancellor at cornerback, and I'm doing perfectly fine. I run mostly a zone. If you're on man-to-man, Cam Chancellor's not the man. As the mid-tier budget guys, 100K and under, Revis, Surtain, and Slay are your budget guys at the moment. They play pretty darn well out there. I don't think you're going to have a huge drop-off on the guys that I said going to Strahan. I know some people didn't. What? Okay, market's up today from when I recorded this. Maybe, yeah, it is what it is. From when I put this together on Sunday till now, market is up at least 10K. But we'll say Strahan, just, you know, but mid-budget's 110 now. We'll put it at there. Revis, again, you know, power up, plus the island. We'll get him with the 90 zone, 90 man, 90 press. So he'll hit those 90s all across the board too with Revis. A little bit slower. You really kind of want to see the top end speed, but 89 for the budget squads. Everybody else that's like 90, 91 is 170 up here. Glenn, I did not like the way he played. He's too short. And then the other one was Slay. 90 speed on this. Team of the week, 70K for him. Dare Slay, I think he was actually free, right? You can just get him free from the solo. So this is like the ultimate budget card. Everybody should have those free 88s just by doing the Team of the Week solos on their squad. And the budget one, once again, you're going to see guys that are fast. Dante Jackson, one of the fastest guys in the NFL. Asante Samuel, incredible budget card on Samuel. I got to show you Samuel's card. This is just wild. How good this is Asante Samuel card. 90 speed and 83 overall. 7.5K for 90 speed. Get him. I know his zone is not good. I understand that. But when you're paying, when you're getting budget cards, you have to make sacrifices. And if you get somebody that has high zone on a budget card, they ain't gonna have speed. And speed is way more important. Like, once you get the top end speed, then you worry about the mental stats. But first, you need to be physically there, right? First, you need to be able to be physically okay with competing in the NFL. And then you move on to more of the finer details. So, Asante Samuel, beautiful card. A lot of beautiful cards there. And those are my 3 budget CBs that you should be getting if you're getting under 10K each budget. All right. Free safety. Best one in the game is Ronnie Lott. And I said before in the last video, I'm not going to use Master or anything like that. Otherwise, Cam Chancellor would be when we talk about strong safety. Free safety, though, Ronnie Lott, in my opinion, look how fast he is. He's a part of the Raiders theme team, which is the meta theme team. Just overall, like, just continually makes plays for us out there. Ronnie Lott is number 1. I think Jesse Bates kind of sucks. I've used him. I've usered him. I got him with his extra height. He just bounces off too many guys. 86 hit power ain't strong. Kevin Byard, same way. Roy Williams played pretty well for me. I actually don't mind this Roy Williams card one bit. If Ronnie Lott wasn't here, I think Roy Williams would be my favorite free safety in the game. Sean Taylor would give him a run for his money, though. Maybe I'd take Sean over Roy. But Sean and Roy are pretty darn close to each other. Sean, because he's got 1 extra speed and I think 2 extra height. So those are the top cards, top free safeties. All right, for the mid-budget, mid-meta guys, I'm going to go Brian Dawkins. And the last one, I'll just fill it. Adderley and Troy Apke for your free safety to user, right? So just raw speed. So Dawkins right here, under 100K. Is really what you want to get, right? 68K for this campus hero, 88 speed on him, high hit power, high zone coverage, especially if you had the DB strat card, you get him to 90. Overall, Brian Dawkins is exactly what you want at free safety there if you can't afford the guys that are going for like 300 to 700K. Brian Dawkins played absolutely lights out for me. I love the Brian Dawkins card when I used them. And then Adderley and Apke, both just fast players. We'll look at Adderley quick. 89 speed. Sure, he doesn't have any hit power, but you just want this guy. He's 22K. I didn't really find a lot outside of the team builders at free safety that I love. So if you got the 22K, Adderley is it. If you don't, you go with Apke. 87 speed on the 65 overall. You can find other guys that are maybe a few less speed than him, but if you're going to use her early on, 900 coins for a decent user. He's tall too. Is exactly what you need to use for your team. So there are your 3 high, mid, and low meta free safeties. I guess low budget is what I call it. All right, strong safeties. What do we got for the strong part of the squad? All right, the top free safety in the game, or strong safety. No, not on this list. And it's not Cam Chancellor either, right? Because I said Cam Chancellor is disqualified. It would be Cam Chancellor if he was qualified for this. But I can't tell you to go grab a guy when it takes you about 100 hours to get him. It is going to be Ed Reed, but not the 90 overall. You're going to take Ed Reed's power up, and you're going to throw his right outside linebacker card into it, right? And this is the best strong safety in the game. 93 speed. He has hit power. The issue is, yeah, sure, he's not the tallest. He's not the heaviest, so he doesn't really lay the boom like a lot of bigger guys like Simmons would if he was strong safety still. But overall, 93 speed, okay man coverage. I don't run a lot of man, so it doesn't affect me that much having not 90 right there. Block shed 84. just wild out there how high block shit they've given corners and safeties this year. But overall, Ed Reed is the best strong safety in the game. He is my top level one. So we're going to go Ed Reed right there. The next level, the mid-level, will be Diablo Divine. Diablo, he's still, because he's a part of the Raiders theme team, or Divine Diablo, did I say it reversed? Raiders theme team, 6'3", 226, it's okay. And then he's got top-end speed, hit power, right? Block shit's 84. Are you kidding me? Zone coverage in there. So this is more of like a user choice, but I don't hate him if you have to leave him on his own. If that's your strong safety, I would user him definitely. But if you decide to user maybe on a budget option, the cheapest one would be Terrell Edmonds there. Just raw speed, right? Terrell Edmonds is there for, that's really what you want. 86 speed, 80 hit power, 5.9K for Terrell Edmonds. But there it is. There's the defense. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please give it a thumbs up. And that is it. That's all she wrote. Please subscribe for the channel. We're going for 100K this year. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, where I got things wrong, who you like, who you don't like. Thanks for watching. Call to action. Let's go for that 100K this year, guys. We're going to make it. We're all going to make it. See you tomorrow.